Part 1, Unit 4, Gateway. We say to ourselves, there is plenty of time. I'll manage somehow or other when the time comes for action. We are rather proud of our ability to meet emergencies. So we do not plan and take precautions to prevent emergencies from arising. It is too easy to drift through school and college, taking the traditional, conventional studies that others take, following the lines of least resistance, electing snap courses, and going with the crowd. It is too easy to take the attitude, first, I will get my education and develop myself, and then I will know better what I am fitted to do for a life work. And so we drift, driven by the winds of circumstance, tossed about by the waves of tradition and custom. Eventually, most men find they must be satisfied with any port in a storm. Sailors who select a port because they are driven to it have scarcely one chance in 1,000 of dropping anchor in the right one. Exercise 1. What we used to call multinational firms are increasingly becoming global firms. Among firms, what passes for national identification depends upon history and where their corporate headquarters happen to be located. But the latter is increasingly becoming a matter determined more by local taxation than by economic functionality. The recent fuss about U.S. firms moving their legal headquarters to Bermuda to get lower taxes is but one example. National identification means little when it comes to predicting a firm's behavior. Place of origin or the nationality of the passports held by the top managers makes less and less difference when it comes to making real decisions. Ownership is often not what it seems to be. Nokia is seen as a Finnish company, but more of Nokia's shares are owned by Americans than by Finns. Exercise 2. There is some discomfort in most of us that makes us reluctant to take credit for our accomplishments or to even accept a well-deserved compliment. Try an experiment. Give someone you know a genuine compliment about a quality they have or about something they have done that you truly appreciate. Often, their first response is to downplay their contribution or their effort. Oh, I was just doing my job. Anyone would have done the same thing. It was nothing. What is it that makes us uneasy about accepting credit for something wonderful we have done? We feel proud of our accomplishments and our skills, but we don't know how to take credit for them gracefully, without seeming like a braggart or a know-it-all. Exercise 3. Gordon Parker, Chairman, President, and CEO of Newmont Mining Corporation, has a very deliberate speech pattern. When I asked him about it, he explained, people listen more carefully if they think you are thinking when you speak. I tend to agree with him. Even though people can hear 2 to 3 times faster than we can talk, most of us could stand to slow down when we speak. Hurrying makes our words seem less important and gives the impression that we do not think our ideas deserve more than the briefest amount of airtime. We appear to be rushing to finish so that someone with something more valuable to say can speak. Slow down. Allow for some pauses, some silence. People will listen more closely and have more respect for what they hear. Exercise 4. The experts in our children's lives, their doctors, teachers, and coaches, not to mention the wisdom of family members, friends, and clergy who have been there, are essential resources to us as we raise our families. Gathering information and educating yourself is critical to good decision-making. But no professional degree or years of professional experience is ultimately more important than your own intuition. As you navigate through the sea of opinions and ideas, you will also notice that the experts sometimes conflict with each other, and sometimes with your goals and values. So you will need to use your critical thinking and problem-solving skills to analyze the advice and information you've gathered. Then remember that you are the decider. That is because no one is a better expert in the matters of your family than you. Exercise 5. Now I am not in any way suggesting that you, dear mom, need to follow my lead and become slightly addicted to photography or preserving your memories in scrapbooks. However, I am strongly suggesting that you take a lot of pictures of your children to document their lives and save those memories. They are changing every day. Of course, you are so busy trying to keep life together that you probably have not had time to notice. But trust me on this, you will treasure these pictures for a lifetime. Even if you cannot take the time to organize your photos, take lots of pictures. Label and file them in consecutive order in an acid-free box. Then when you have time in 20 or 30 years, you can look back through them and enjoy the strong emotions and memories that they evoke. Exercise 6. Many students lack the life experiences to imagine that people in other cultures live, behave, and believe differently. Online collaborations create authentic ways for students to learn about places they have never experienced. For instance, a cross-national sharing between elementary schools in different climates revealed that students in one school had questions about snow, which they had never seen, while the partner students were trying to imagine open-air, year-round schools. Minor differences are not minor to students who have never been exposed to any differences at all. Given that most students will, as adults, work in international markets, the more exposure they receive to different cultural patterns during school years, the more successfully they will make the transition as adults.